Your grace seems right at home in the saddle.
Hello everyone, this is Bobbin Threadbare, and welcome back to The Witcher 3. Already in progress.
Clear a path! Clear the way, I said!
The castle is a very vertical place. And this is the easy path, the one that the carts take.
It's here! Just round the corner!
Hurry.
We must go to where the game is being held. The participants must find a unicorn's horn, a golden fish, and a phoenix egg. With these in hand, they can deduce where the hare, Milton, hides.
Mean we need to find those things too?
We've no other option, but time is of the essence, so we shall have to break the rules.
By the way, this is also the best combat theme in the game.
On second thought, through here. I shall show you where the hunt plays out. Then we will split up. You will get hold of the unicorn horn and the golden fish, while I nab the phoenix egg. That will be quickest.
The unicorn. How do I catch it?
It's terribly skittish, true, but I'm sure you will find a way to earn its trust. It runs around over there, look.
Golden fish. Do I need a rod or a net?
Please, Geralt. It's not a real fish. Look there, towards the water. See the lights? The hunters are trying to hook the fish from boats. You must simply dive in and find it. The golden fish and the horn both contain things or clues that will help us find Milton. Once you have fish and horn, find me among the other phoenix egg hunters. All clear? Then let's get to it.
Fiorano of the 1290 vintage. I do encourage you to try it.
Yeah, okay, maybe later. I mean, hate to spoil a bunch of nobles' silly games to save someone's life. And by that I mean I'm not sorry at all.
Smoky accents of marked intensity, adorned with the aromas of an array of gems.
But this being Toussaint, there's always time for wine.
Do they pay you well, Richard? Enough for wine and...
Listen, Alter!
Tickle me. Knock something back and wipe that frightening grimace off your face.
Oh, peacocks.
Folk would augur from the memory which
Don't you mean heads? The common folk just means heads. Nobles augur...
Can't believe it. Simply can't.
You know, back in the day, peacocks were kept both for decoration and for feasting.
unicorns are thought to like...
Perhaps an apple will work. Or some sweets.
We would not be in this predicament, dear sister, were you still a virgin.
Do you really wish to have this conversation again? Here and now?
Hush, or you'll spook the beast. We shall try the sweets.
Hey folks, gonna have to ruin your fun. Sorry.
Who's that?
This is what the Axii sign is for, so... I mean, if we don't need it, then... No, we definitely should have used it.
Come on, stay calm.
There, see?
Shh. Calm down. Easy now.
Well, that's hardly fair.
Flagrant cheating is what it is! Sirs, we must teach this scamp some proper sportsmanship.
Listen, I didn't break any rules.
True, he won fair and square.
We were unlucky, that's all. We must try to grab the next clue.
And this is why I spare one of my slots for the Axii power-up.
Gardens are huge. Be better off on horseback.
Unworthy
Because I don't want to waste any time.
behavior. A complete collapse of social.
And fish should be easy to spot once I'm under.
Must have been gold.
The lighting is positively useless.
What the places?
Did someone just dive in the water? Perhaps that's the way to do it.
Surely, if you're a peasant,
The future.
Alright, what have we got around here? Candy. Glad they've got something for the losers. I can't see a damn thing down here. Toffee. Can't tell what any of them are colored. Oh, we must have found it. Last.
Hey, wait. Stop. It's important.
King Cormorant, sire, accept this offering we bring. Prithee cast upon us your merciful eye, and bear before us its secrets.
As the moon is heavenly coursed of trace, in my domain I await that moment of grace, when a soul of good or ill repute brings me a gift, fitting tribute.
A key.
Why, you bomb-botched wretch!
It ruins the game!
Disgraceful.
Yeah, well, I don't got time for your nonsense or whatever the hell's going on here. Got too close to that little island and decided that I was waiting for a good 10 meters or so. Well, whatever. So we got a riddle and we got a key.
It's positively useless. She can't possibly see.
Kinda odd how peacocks sound a little bit like cats.
Do you do here?
Ooh. New road marker.
But your praise,
No buts.
I wish
The guard brings peace to our domains. Flout its writ and rot in chains.
Yeah, well, win some other year when someone's life isn't on the line.
If you please, Your Grace.
We do not please. We act out of the highest necessity. All shall be explained later.
But it's against the rules.
I am the rules. Geralt! At last.
Got a key and a clue.
And I've another. Show me yours. Who wrote this drivel? I begin like a groan, hollowed out with ease, then end like a mouse, with a head of hard cheese.
Grease. Green. Mouse. House. Okay.
Let's see. Grown. With ease gives us green, right? And mouse with the head of hard cheese. Greenhouse?
You're a genius. Several greenhouses in the gardens, indeed, but only one locks, the key to which looks just like the one we found.
Greenhouse it is then. Let's go.
Too late. But maybe not too late to catch the guy.
What the butch?
He very clearly only looks human.
What was that?
I'm here.
This belonged to you, maybe?
It did, but you may keep it. I've a new one. I do not know you. I've done you no harm. Yet first you butchered a Bruxer who was dear to me. Now you pursue me. Why?
You've killed 4 innocent people, at least.
And you? How many innocents have you cut down?
Not here to talk about me.
Yet that is exactly what we are doing. So, did they send you after me? Who are they?
What do you mean, they? Duchess hired me. You've been murdering her subjects.
Is it as simple as that? I would ask you to convey to the Duchess that I've but one victim left, but you'll not get the chance.
Damn. Pretty sure his face didn't always look like that. Anyway, guess what? It's time to refresh the vampire oil. But yeah, DLC's barely started and we're in a boss fight with the Beast of Beauclair. Gotta give Geralt one thing, he is efficient. Ah crap, he's healing. Not healing enough though. My sword's fully charged up now. Hey, leveled up.
You were to stay where you were. Regenerate!
I know you're in trouble. I can help.
I'll help myself.
No, he's my friend.
Yes, Geralt, it's me.
Regis? You alright?
All is well. All's in order. Wounds such as these heal on vampires in moments. But we've not seen one another in ages, my friend. At least in human terms, that is.
How's this even possible? Last I saw you...
I was a bubbling, shapeless smear, having been rather spectacularly melted into a column of a certain castle. In somewhat better shape now, as you can see. Hardly peak form, mind you, but were I human, folk would think me a demigod, I dare say.
I'm sorry. What happened? It was my fault. Never got a chance to apologize.
No need, Geralt. Bygones. I did not have to join you on that expedition. No one twisted my arm.
Miraculous regeneration. How do you manage it?
I had help. From the one you hunt.
Him? How? And what have you been doing all these years?
Not the time nor place for such stories. I suspect we'll get a chance to speak at ease and at length later. Now, however, we must deal with the reason that brought us both here.
So you being here, it's no coincidence?
Your powers of deduction seem to have waned not one bit. I'm happy. I came here for Dettlaff. I fear he's become entangled, landed himself in serious trouble.
So that's his name. He's your friend?
You might call it that. Though Dettlaff is, how would you humans put it, more bestial than I am. But not to worry, I'm working on him.
Haven't exactly done a great job with that. He's killed one knight since I got here, at least 3 others before I arrived.
For good reason, I'm sure. Understand, Dettlaff is not some decadent shit who kills for sport, or to assuage a dryness of throat or a dullness of mood.
Seem pretty damn sure of that.
I am, because I know him very well. Despite appearances to the contrary, you two are quite alike. You've both noble hearts, yet you both are wont to perform ignoble deeds. When circumstances force you to, of course. Remember the year 964?
That was 3 centuries ago.
Blind fear gripped Rivia, Lyria, and Spala. Women and children were dying. Their mutilated, dismembered corpses littered the fields.
Brute of Lyria. Read about it. Chewed up almost 200, then fell to a common poacher supposedly armed with a dagger blessed by some prophet.
It fell to Dettlaff, who then found a poacher asleep in the brush near his snares and dropped the fiend's corpse at his feet. And thus, a legend was born.
Vampires rarely help humans. Must have had his own agenda, hunting the beast.
You err. He slew it for one reason alone. The monster killed a lad who once in the street had offered Dettlaff an apple, expecting nothing in return.
Terribly noble of him.
You do not have a monopoly on altruism, my friend. Vilgefortz melted my body. Dettlaff found what was left. As per our codex, he had a choice. To leave me where I was, or to care for me and nurture my remains. He chose the latter. Regenerated me at no small expense in his own blood. Do you know what that means to a vampire? The gravity of the endeavor?
Probably same thing it means to a human. You owe him your life.
Much more than that. The act itself made us blood brethren. A bond so strong humans cannot even imagine. Which is why I know something ill is afoot.
Always had an overdeveloped sense of empathy.
Each vampire has a unique talent. One they hone over centuries. It's precisely what renders us so difficult to classify. Dettlaff's trump card is his herd instinct, his tribal propensity. In point of fact, he prefers the company of lesser vampires and shuns that of humans. If he walks among you, killing egregiously, it can only mean something's upset him, immensely.
Anything specific? Some set of things that'd be likely to set him off?
How should I say this? Dettlaff doesn't understand men, their world, its rules, its conventions. He's naive in a sense. He doesn't comprehend your games, knows not what it means to lie, deceive.
Suggesting he's maladjusted, and venting his rage.
I'm suggesting maladjustment can at times breed conflict. But is it the case this time? I cannot say, but intend to find out.
Gotta find him. Before something upsets him even more, and all Beauclair is awash with blood.
Well, we share a cause then, just like the old days.
Not entirely. I mean, when I find him, you know.
I know you've a contract on his head. Yet your true task is to stop the beast killing, not necessarily to kill the beast, am I right?
All in all, sure.
Let us find him. By the time we do, I hope I'll have convinced you Dettlaff is no monster.
Fine, all right already. But for now, evidence is stacking up against him.
Hear that?
The posse. Knights must have tracked me here.
I prefer they not find me here. I've makeshift quarters at Mère Lachaise Long Cemetery. We'll meet there.
See you.
Witcher, we flew here as fast as our courses would carry us. Yet I fear we're late all the same. Pray, where is the beast?
Still investigating. About to inspect this site. Withdraw your men before they trample all over the evidence.
Sirs, we must let the Witcher do his work. Milton's murder cannot go unavenged.
But of course, there's really nothing about this site that needs investigating. Aside from the containers, of course. But yeah, enter Regis, who is
Allow the Witcher to ply his trade.
one of the more important characters from the books.
Good hunting to you, Witcher. We're relying on your mastery of your craft.
Back when Geralt was on a mad quest to head south to find Ciri, Regis was one of the people who joined him, along with Dandelion and, for a time, Zoltan Chive. But as they mention, Regis has not been in the games up until now because he effectively died during the final battle with Vilgefortz, who is basically the big bad villain of the book series. Vilgefortz died pretty conclusively in the books, hence why he is not returned to be a villain in the game series.
Brings peace to our domains. Flouted.
Sir! Sir! A letter for you, sir!
Letter? Who from?
Can't rightly say, sir. I was just to deliver it.
Now what?
Here. And thanks.
No, sir. Thank you. And I truly hope I'll be of service again.
Always got to tip the post boys.
Dearest.
I suspect weighty affairs, rather than merely the wine festival, have drawn you to Toussaint. Perhaps you'll find time to probe a certain matter in spite of this. I recently came across the mention of one Professor Moreau, a scholar in Beauclair, who conducted research into Witcher mutations. Though the details are rather murky, as is the location of the scholar's laboratory, his journal could contain more information. It lies buried with him in his tomb. I enclose a map I found in the book I happened upon. Though less than completely legible, I trust it will prove useful nonetheless. I felt this matter could prove of some importance to you, thus I dispatched this letter without delay. Whatever you decide, please take exceedingly good care of yourself. Your Yen.
A professor who studied Witcher mutations. Might actually be worth looking into.
You get this quest regardless, but I don't think it has to be Yen who informs you of it. And yes, Professor Moreau, as in the island of Dr. Moreau.
The beast shall devour all.
Anyway, I'm trying to get into the bar over here. Or really just do anything. This is my first time in Beauclair. I mean, obviously not my first time, since this isn't my first playthrough, and also not Geralt's first time, because he spent a few seasons here, while Ciri was in the Elven Plain. Alright, so this is clearly a residence and not the bar. But, you know, there might be some containers here. Here we go. This is the tavern.
Dark secrets tales from a fairy tale.
That's Kessa, our sweet shining sun. Wipe your boots before you take another step. Don't slurp your food. Don't eat with your hands. Don't pick your teeth with your knife.
What?
Oh, I'm just jesting. You, sir, clearly were not born in a barn. Welcome to the Pheasantry. The best auberge in all the duchy.
Does it have the best Gwent?
I know you're busy, but round of Gwent?
So, as I mentioned earlier, there is a new faction, Skellige. What can I get rid of? Just the generic hero who doesn't do anything. But yeah, so your quest during this expansion is to find all of the Skellige cards. And then there will also be an opportunity to use them. And in case you're wondering, I have a plan here. Even though I sort of effectively wasted the dragon card, I did not. Because I was able to recapture my spy. And also she has a very lousy hand of monsters here. It's like all three of the worst varieties. I mean, heck, look at this. One card and I win. Alright, let's start playing some more generic cards. And that's why scorched this. Oh man, didn't have any friends. Huh. At least she's got a full hand of vampires. I'm being a little skittish about playing my 10-point cards, since a Scorch would get rid of all of them. You played that on your siege row? Really? I mean, at this point the arithmetic works out for me. And there's the Necker you brought back for no reason. Yeah, let's thin... no. Can thin out the front ranks later. Yep. However, it was my opponent's final card. As such, I've already won. Probably should have checked her inventory. And as a matter of fact...
Welcome to...
Let's do exactly that. No cards. That's too bad. Do you get to sell the sweets that we picked up, though?
See you later.
Did you kiss our sweet shining sun?
But yes, so now that we've met the Beast and Regis, the game has really opened up now. Unlike a lot of RPGs, there is no real immediacy in following up on the Beast. So you've got the time and the opportunity to go explore.
Whoa! A witcher! A serious client at last. Tell me, what do you need? Honeysuckle? Ginacia petals?
How's business?
The coin is good, but just between us, I'm going batty with boredom. I know what my customers want before they open their mouths. Boltmen, birch sap. Ladies of all walks, whatever fragrance Duchess Anarietta prefers at the time. If just once somebody would order some poison, eh?
Show me what you've got in stock.
Took a second to load in there. My crafting inventory is just full of junk. Anyway, we've got potions of restoration now. In addition to the potions that allow you to replace all of the points that you spent on your abilities, you can now buy a potion that lets you restore all of the points that you spent on your mutations. However, I don't want to do that just yet, because I'm very close to getting all the mutations, and thus opening up all possible slots. And for some reason I just felt like pointing out to you how one way that you can...
In the mood for a round of Gwent?
One way that you can gain new mutagens is by getting the rare alchemical ingredients that are normally used to get the tier 3 items, the tier 3 bombs and potions, and instead using the ones that are red, green, and blue in order to, oh, another Skellige deck. And instead you would use them to, well, dye the mutagens the correct color. Got a very active hand this time. Oh, but I only had the one Shield Maiden. Too bad. Ah, he had all the longships, though. Alright, so, opponent has passed, time to cripple the front line, which means I only need one more card. This generic 6 will do. I mean, the character on the card is not a generic 6, but what the card does is effectively generic. Oh, a full Berserker. And one more draw from the deck. Ooh, good timing. See, yet one more reason to get your cards out of the discard before your opponent does that with them. But yeah, as you might imagine, the Skellige deck does not have nearly as much resurrection cards as other decks do. Hence why having a leadership ability that lets you decimate the discard pile, hence why that would ever be a good thing. There's Ceres, but all her buddies are already... They weren't dead. Oh. Oh, that's right, they don't call... She calls them, they don't call each other. Right. What the hell? That's... I have mine in my hand here. There should only be 2 dragons ever present. That's kind of nuts. Alright. Looks like this was relatively close. But my one last hero card saves the day. Skellige deck is not a bad deck. Oh, looks like we found the notice board. Let's see what else we've got here. A lot of interesting stuff. Grandmaster Armorer. Fisticuffs, of course. New region, new fisticuffs. Armed escort wanted. That sounds like it'd be interesting. Trials of the Virtues. That's new. Quarreling at the cemetery. Someone's got noisy neighbors, but lives next to a cemetery and is quite worried, therefore.
Loch Selavie. Might be worth looking into.
Boars everywhere.
Bunch of bandits here. Toussaint actually does have a bandit problem. They are a relatively independent duchy within the confines.
Needs an escort. Not something I do often, but might be worth investigating.
Right. Also, the bank is closed because it's night.
Need to come back during the day. Nice tune.
But, yeah, so they have a bandit problem because they are technically within the confines of the Empire of Nilfgaard, but they are relatively independent within that empire, and so bandits will flee to the duchy in order to avoid prosecution and, well, just being killed by Nilfgaardian guards. And so what Toussaint does is it empowers its knights to be knight-errants who scour the countryside for bandits and slaughter them themselves instead. But for now,
no one can
it's about time we have a look at our new property.
Welcome home, sir. I am Barnabas Basil Fawlty. By order of the Duchess, I shall serve you as Major Domo of Corvo Bianco. I previously served with distinction at the Nibli family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an extraordinary demanding gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order. I dare say this place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Great. Can already see I'm in good hands. Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Ketweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cutpurse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off more heads than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Mind giving me a little tour de Corvo Bianco?
Not in the least. Follow me, please. I think it would be practical to begin on the hill. Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
Pretty vast.
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interesting details. Follow me, please.
Been a major domo all your life?
Yes, I come from a long line of major domos. My father was a major domo, as was my grandfather before him, as was my great aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Great aunt?
A hard woman. It is said that already as a child, she knew where she was going and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to Major Domo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path.
Sounds like a woman worth knowing.
The servants' quarters. I occupy the green home. With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the ducal treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it's worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays.
If my lips don't stink
Baron
of
Rossel
wine,
ordered
my
the vines
wife
in this
won't
part of the
know
estate
they're
uprooted and olive groves planted in their place. They look beautiful, especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
This is a beautiful place.
Down below lies your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. Aged in oak barrels, it provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes. Marvelous.
Have to try it one of these days.
They say the Duchess commanded a pair of Shaelmars captured for the tourney. Then, during transport...
Nice well. Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. During the raucous feasts Master Bolius held, he would order it filled with wine. There's a tale about a guest attending a Bolius ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda.
If they would just stick to work as they take to dance sentry.
Monsieur Bolius, his wife Nina, kept a garden here. A supremely lovely place it was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory, and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation.
And that is what you can do with this place, by the way. Plant certain rare herbs and harvest them regularly, instead of just finding them in the wild.
Madame Nina planted diminutive, delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
You can certainly still smell the roses.
I work from dawn to dusk's last light. Then give my wife a...
This served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
rather be an eagle than a quail. Yes, I should.
The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Bolis's time, wine was kept here, but Baron Rossel used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess, which
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
As you can see, the facade is, to put it, slightly stained. But one cannot deny it, a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
And welcome inside. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative arrangements. A few paintings, for instance, would breathe new life into the abode immediately. With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corfobianco is a beautiful estate. Though one must admit, time has taken its toll. Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification, consider me at your service on the matter.
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide to do any remodeling.
Luckily, I got tons of cash.
Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Oh, most decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Been thinking about the outer walls. Maybe a fresh coat of paint or some patching.
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I once oversaw such work at Admiral Rompelli's summer residence. The effects were simply breathtaking. Not only did the residence positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons, of which he was a passionate collector.
It's in your hands then. Make the place shine.
I shall get to work immediately. Within a day's passing, I shall have sent for the crew which rebuffed the Admiral's residence. They are the finest specialists around. Highly skilled at what they do, it shall not take them too long, I wager. 2 days after they begin, your eyes will behold your residence in its refurbished, rejuvenated, beautified state. Is there anything else you require, sir?
Got these spacious grounds. But maybe it's time to make them more useful.
Oh, yes! We certainly should. The way I see things, given your trade, sir, you would be wise to put in a grindstone and an armorer's table. A good way to start things off, don't you think?
In my trade, my blades get dull pretty quick. Could use a grindstone, professional grade.
Of course. No one would consider that an unnecessary extravagance, I would wager.
Then send out for one, please. A high-quality stone to be set up in the yard.
Of course. I shall send a runner to town at once. I believe you shall be grinding to your heart's content by tomorrow. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
My armor needs work from time to time. You know, oil this, reinforce that. Could use a decent work table where I could do all that.
Admiral Rompelli once hired a specialist who made the finest armorer's tables this side of the Yaruga. I will contact him at once.
Good. Order me up a table like that.
Immediately, sir. I expect it will take at most 1 day to arrive. Will you be needing anything else, sir?
Know what? Changed my mind. Not in the mood to talk about redecoration today. But I wanted to ask you something else.
I shall be glad to answer your every question, sir.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon.
Huh. He said 2 days, but the game is saying 3. And yeah. This is Geralt's bed. And this is a spot to hang a painting, including the very special painting that we got in the other DLC. There are other places to hang paintings, but they will not all be fully accessible until, well, later on. For now, we have a couple of armor stands, a couple of weapon racks, a couple of spots to put paintings. Didn't want to keep it to myself, put it in the bedroom. Much better to put it over the dining table, let everyone enjoy it. And of course, here's the stash, where I've been keeping a whole bunch of paintings and weapons and armor that could really use some display. Including a couple of things I got from Skellige. Ooh, also some places for trophies. I believe those are always available. And yeah, you've got the library here where I believe every sort of book item that you've ever looked at can be found. Winter's Blade, and across from that, have Karen. I think those are the 2 weapons we got from Krakon Crate. I might be mistaken. Anyway, we do still also have Fate here. Which I should put somewhere. But yeah, after the general refurbishment, we'll have more places to put stuff. But what we've bought so far is just the first set of things you can buy. Once we've gotten through the general refurbishment, we'll have a lot more options open up. But then we will also have to wait a few days. Just put that back for now. But we do also have that armor rack. So let's get the Ophiri armor set over there. Yeah, with the portrait of Iris and Olgierd, Better Days, up on the wall there. Wonder if Iris painted that herself. Oh, I got the boots wrong, damn it. And now I have to remove them all. There we go. Okay, accidentally put on some sail armor that I just happen to have in my inventory.
If they would just take to work as they take to concentrate.
Anyway, so down here in the cellar, there is one additional place that we'll be making extensive use of once we get it. But like so much else at the estate, it's something that we'll have to purchase to get access to. And yeah, if you played an RPG that gives you a house or an estate, then the way it works here is pretty much along the same lines. It's nothing too unusual.
A witcher to do their work.
Anyway, so that's Corvo Bianco. That's the No Place Like Home quest. And that is a question mark dangerously close to my estate. Let's go find out what's there.
The White Wolf himself. Who should have creeps is more of
Oh, you bleating bundle. If they would just take to work as they take to dance and drink.
Okay. That sounds like a dangerous critter. Oh, this is new. Except it's not. I believe we encountered the sort of plant monsters here. They were definitely in the first game. I'm not sure if they were in the second game, but this is definitely the first time we've seen them in the third game.
Archospores will sprout again. Should destroy the area if I want to get rid of them for good.
They are definitely a lot more dynamic than they were in the first game. Like in the first game, they would just sort of appear and fire, and you would run up and kill them. But here in the third game... Letter to a father. Only just been knighted. And, yeah, then he ran into some archspores and they killed him. So it goes. But yeah, in this game, archspores will rise out of one little plant bulb. You hack at them. Sometimes they vanish down into them and pop out of a different plant bulb that they cause to appear during their little combat cycle. Anyway, so I didn't see a question mark over here, but I did see a landmark, a building. So I figured we'd take a closer look at it, see if there's anything here. Sometimes there is. Ah, Delacroix. This is his place. Or was. Before he died horribly. Anyway, looks like he's got a boat on the dock here. So we'll use it to head across the river. Continue investigating those question marks. Man, it's been a while since we did some full-on exploration stuff like this. Been going hard at the main quest for a long time. And even in the DLC, the first one, Heart of Stone, there was only a little bit of exploration involved in that. Just a bit of extra areas at the edges of the map. But in this case, we've got ourselves a whole new map. Looks like some necrophages of some description.
Ugly bastard.
Took his head clean off. Luckily, they don't hit very hard. I was able to take it on the Quen shield a few times. What have we got here? Alright, a lover who demands more money out of her husband-to-be. Asked him to get some treasure from a sunken wreck in the Sans Retour. And the Sans Retour, by the way, just means no return in French. As a matter of fact, a lot of the names in Beauclair have some very forbidding, dangerous sounding names. Anyway, yeah, as we can see, the groom-to-be just sort of got eaten by some necrophages instead of finding his bride's big treasure haul that she was hoping for. Alright, doesn't look like the crevice has anything in it. If I can get out of it, that would be nice. Also a couple more drowners in the water, looks like. Should probably do something about that. Ah, another crevice. This one with a shipwreck in it. There's the drowner. Swimming in circles. Oh, also kind of stuck in this cage here. I mean, if you're not coming out, then I'm not going in. Ah, there's one. Not stuck in the middle of nowhere. Ooh, that was a good chest. I think copper is a new loot type. Because for some reason it's not found before you reach Beauclair. Anyway, that was the proper loot chest. And, yeah, based on the name Black Widow, it sounds like the bride-to-be was a bit manipulative. In it for the money, much more so than for the love. And that's none of my business. Anyway, you can see that the quest that we're defaulting to now is to meet with Regis and continue his discussion of the guy who saved his life. Looks like another estate settlement here.
What's going on there?
Arrest warrant for Filbert von Witten, alias Four Fingers. Looks like someone chopped his thumb off.
All is in order.
Ah, a new notice board. What have we got? Looks like a lot of minor stuff. Fixing roof and pleasuring women. She cured my cat. There's a druidess in the area who acts as a veterinarian. Asking for vineyard help. And now here we go. The Monster of Tufo. And the mysterious plummeting cattle. I suspect there's some monster out there grabbing cattle and dragging them into the sky, only to drop them.
Come on, no point dallying.
Looks like this estate is also a bit of a marketplace.
Greetings, monsieur. You need something?
Mind if I glance at your stock?
Yeah, nothing too exciting. Although he does have dye remover, which goes well with that armor dye that we've encountered. Oh, actually, that's not dye remover. I've got dye remover, that's a different bottle. What he's got is black dye. And yeah, not really in the need for any of the junk I've got, so let's just sale it all. One thing this guy does have is a lot of cash on hand. Pompadour bracelet.
See ya.
But yeah, with all that done, I think we've spent enough time with The Witcher 3 for today.